The Innocent Verdict, a U.S. criminal justice story. The arrest was a cold March evening in Detroit when Marcus Reed's life changed forever. He was walking home from his second job at a diner, tired but satisfied. He'd saved enough that week to buy his daughter a new backpack. Blue lights flashed behind him. A police cruiser stopped at the corner, and before Marcus could even speak, two officers jumped out, guns drawn. Marcus Reed. Yeah. What's going on? You're under arrest for armed robbery and aggravated assault. Marcus froze. What, that's a mistake. I just got off work. They didn't listen. Within minutes, he was cuffed, pushed into the car, and driven away as neighbors peeked through curtains. Inside the station, he sat in a small, gray room while detectives tossed photos in front of him. Grainy images from a convenience store camera. The robber's face was half covered, but the build was similar, the clothes vaguely alike. That's you, isn't it? No, I swear I was at work. Ask my boss! They didn't want the truth. They wanted a suspect. The system begins. Marcus's public defender, Laura Jennings, was assigned the next morning. Overworked, exhausted, juggling 20 cases. She flipped through his file quickly. It's bad, she said. The store clerk picked you out of a lineup. He's wrong. I didn't do this. Do you have anyone who can vouch for where you were? My boss. The diner has cameras, she nodded. Then we'll fight this. But fighting the system wasn't simple. The prosecution claimed they had fingerprints, partial, smudged, but enough to convince a jury. The media wanted headlines. The young black man accused of robbery fit the narrative. Marcus sat in his cell, replaying the moment over and over, praying someone would believe him. The trial begins. The courtroom smelled of polished wood and cold air. The prosecutor, Ellen Hartley, was confident, ambitious, sharp-tongued, and determined to win. To her, Marcus was just another case to close, another victory for her record. She painted him as desperate, angry, and dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant was seen near the crime scene. His fingerprints were recovered, and the victim identified him. This is not coincidence, this is guilt. Laura rose to her feet. Or it's a mistake. Marcus Reed was working a double shift at Sam's Diner that night. The prosecution ignored key evidence. He's an innocent man. Marcus looked at the jury, 12 strangers who would decide his fate. Some avoided his eyes. Others looked curious, even sympathetic. But sympathy couldn't erase bias. The evidence. Laura presented the diner's time cards. Marcus clocked in at 5 p.m. and out at 11 p.m. The robbery occurred at 10:15, across town. The prosecutor countered easily. Time cards can be faked. He could have left early. Then the video evidence came. Grainy footage from the diner's security camera. The clock flickered, the image blurry, but Marcus could be seen wiping tables near 10 p.m. It should have been enough. But the prosecution's expert claimed the timestamps could have been tampered with. Marcus watched helplessly as his defense unraveled, logic bending under pressure. The witness, the key witness, a nervous convenience store clerk, pointed at Marcus in court. That's him. I'll never forget his eyes. Marcus wanted to scream. You're wrong. I wasn't there. But Laura whispered, stay calm. On cross-examination, Laura asked, how far were you from the robber? Maybe 10 feet, and he was wearing a mask. Yes, and it was dark? Yes, but so you never saw his full face? Well, no, the courtroom murmured. For a moment, the truth flickered, but the judge called for order. The pressure. The prosecutor offered a deal. Plead guilty to a lesser charge, 5 years instead of 15. Marcus refused. I won't say I did something I didn't. Even Laura warned him, juries don't always get it right. Then they'll have to live with that, he said quietly. Because I won't. The days blurred together, testimonies, exhibits, objections. The jury watched like spectators at a show. Marcus's daughter, Lila, came once clutching her grandmother's hand. She was only 8. Daddy, are you coming home soon? Soon, baby. I promise, he smiled for her. Inside, his heart broke. The verdict, after 2 weeks, the jury deliberated for only 4 hours. When they returned, the air felt heavy. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Marcus's knees buckled. His mother sobbed. Laura whispered, we'll appeal. The judge sentenced him to 15 years in state prison. Marcus was led away in chains, the gavel echoing like thunder. The prison, years prison, was its own world, a place without time or fairness. Marcus worked in the laundry, kept his head down, read law books, and wrote letters to Laura. Months turned into years. Then one letter changed everything. A new DNA review system had been launched statewide. Laura filed a motion to test the evidence again, something denied at his original trial. The results came back. The fingerprints weren't his. They belonged to another man, Devin Harris, arrested for a similar robbery 2 states away. The appeal Laura stormed into court with the report in hand. "Your Honor, this is new exculpatory evidence. We demand a retrial." The prosecutor hesitated. Her confidence cracked. The judge ordered a review. When Marcus took the stand again, his voice was calm but filled with pain. "I lost 7 years for something I didn't do. I missed my daughter growing up. I missed life. But I never stopped believing the truth would find me." The courtroom was silent. After 2 days, the judge spoke. "The conviction is vacated. Marcus Reed is free." Freedom outside the courthouse, Marcus stood beneath the open sky for the first time in years. Reporters shouted questions. Cameras flashed. He ignored them all. He just closed his eyes, feeling the wind on his face. Freedom. Lila ran into his arms, now 15, crying and laughing all at once. "You came home, Daddy." "I told you I would," Laura smiled through tears. "You made history, Marcus. You're the first exoneration under the new DNA law." He looked at her, exhausted but grateful. "No, we made justice mean something again." Epilogue. The price of innocence. Months later, Marcus testified before Congress about wrongful convictions. He spoke of bias, broken systems, and the lives lost to indifference. He wasn't bitter, just honest. "I can't get my years back. But if telling my story helps one innocent person stay free, then it's worth it." The room stood in silence. Marcus Reed, the man once labeled a criminal, had become a voice for truth. Justice hadn't come easy, but it came. And for the first time in his life, the system listened. Final lines: some people think justice is a verdict. Marcus knew better. Justice is what happens when someone refuses to stop fighting for it, even when the world stops believing.